Hey there, welcome to your Lion's Gate portal reading for August 8th of 2021, and it can be any Lion's Gate that you come across in your life. It doesn't have to be the one for 2021 if you happen to come across this outside that time frame, because as always, the Creator and Spirit are not bound by time and space, and so if you're drawn to this message, then there are messages for you. But if you are coming across this on August 8th of 2021, then the portal for the Lion's Gate this year kind of opened up around July 28th, depending on where you're at in the world, and is going to close around August 12th. Now, the August 8th is when the portal is the widest open, and when like the activation and the energy is just so strong. That's where, this portal increases the cosmic energy that's flowing between the physical world and the spiritual realm. So it just really opens up this portal where it's like the veil is very thin and we can communicate between those. And then amongst all that, also, there's the new moon in Leo is at its height today as well, at 7:50 a.m. Mountain Time, so depending on where you're at and all that. I do a special reading for the new moon in Leo, so that'll be linked at the end of this video here if you want to check that out as well. It'll be under the new moon, full moon readings. So if you want to check that out, just jump on over there after this one. So what is the Lion's Gate? And I love these cards here by the White Light Oracle, because it just really shows this beautiful, beautiful lion. And we'll talk about Ishtar's Lion Gate 888 here in a second as well. But what is the Lion's Gate? There's this special cosmic alignment when the sun happens to be in the sign of Leo, and the star Sirius rises into this special trajectory with the Earth. And in looking at the Lion's Gate, some information was talking about in ancient times, Sirius, the star, would match up with like the Great Pyramids, and it would do it on July 26th, and that is what Egyptian considered their new year. Of course, over the thousands of years, our systems kind of change a little bit, so those exact dates have altered a little bit. But with the sun in Leo, which is the ruler of the heart, and then Sirius, the star, bringing in all that extra energy, the veil is thin, so we can have a heightened connection with all the higher realms. Now, the symbols of the gate, the lion, and also the 8-pointed star, which, 8 is, of course, August. All of that also points towards ancient references to a woman priestess who is named Ishtar, which is all this about this Ishtar Lion's Gate. And she's considered like the goddess of the planet Venus, so like Leo's in charge of the heart. The goddess, Ishtar is of the planet Venus, which is about love. But she also had this sacred relationship with the star Sirius. And I mention all that because she's the queen of letting go, and she holds the keys to renewal from suffering. So it's kind of like the phoenix in a way where, from the ashes we rise up and renew things in our lives. And I loved when I was reading in this particular deck, it says, she is relentless in her pursuit of the path to true inner freedom. So the energy of Ishtar and the Lion's Gate portal gives us support in surrendering our attachments, letting go of identities like mother, wife, boss, brother, boyfriend, whatever it might be. And it draws us to spending time to ourself, focusing on the higher realm and our higher self that we are. So this reading that we're about to do is going to be part 1 of 2 parts, actually. So this reading is going to be about what you're ready to surrender, or you're getting ready to surrender. And then part 2 is going to be coming in September. I'm going to be doing some autumn equinox readings, which will focus on what's falling away to make room for the new, you know, fall, autumn. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So what's falling away to make room for the new? So to make sure you don't miss out on any of those, if you haven't already, click on the subscribe button down below and make sure to hit that little bell icon and you'll get an alert when those are posted. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in to the reading now. All right, all you Cancer signs. So this is going to be your Lionsgate portal reading, and we're going to start off with a card from this Power of Surrender cards, which is so perfect because this reading is about what you're ready to surrender or getting ready to surrender. Really what the Creator wants you to know about what you're getting to the point of surrendering, or what you will be surrendering. So we'll give these a good shuffle and see what the first card is. Excuse me. All right, Creator, what do you want our Cancer signs to know about these surrendering to something in the future here? Okay. And I said that's the one here. Yep, so surrender to the wisdom of your body. And that one says, listen to your body's message about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you're energized and happy, move forward. So yeah, definitely listening to the quiet whispers of your body is a wonderful journey. And so really it's about trusting your gut, right? So it actually, and I love that this is a purple. I don't know, it's not showing up as deep purple as it is in reality here, in my reality over here anyway. But that's your crown chakra, which is, you know, being in attuned with your higher self, your spiritual wisdom, and the intuition comes in through your crown chakra, activates your third chakra, moves down into your throat chakra, down into your heart chakra, and that all gives you this gut instinct and this feeling. And so learning to trust that is a process, you know, in life, because we tend to have so many voices in our head, right, from all these opinions that come from the outside world. And there are voices in our head of all the shoulds and supposed tos and need to be's and have to be's and yada, yada, yada. It's a lot of noise. But when you get quiet and sit with yourself, like in this picture here, that's when you can, you turn down the noise of the external world and allows you to hear those whispers that come from a deeper, more truthful place. And so this is all about trusting those gut instincts that you feel that are based in unconditional love. So you listen to those, and they're not judgmental things like, oh, that's a creep. You know, it's like, I'm feeling some energy here that I'm not comfortable with. You know, it becomes that kind of communication. It's not a judgment kind of communication. Then, you know, that's of your ego, because the ego judges. But your higher self is based in unconditional love, so it won't judge. So they'll have a different tint of a voice as well. And over time, too, you'll see that all the voices in your head, and I don't mean to sound like we're schizophrenic, but we do have all these conditionings and all, you know, these words and, all those laws and rules in our head that we've developed and taken on over time. Those will not remain consistent where they are truthful, right? You'll always see and go, oh, nope, that one didn't turn out. Nope, that one didn't turn out. But there will be one voice that'll stand out among all the rest that'll have 100% accuracy within you. And you're like, yep, they told me that, and that's what happened. I felt this, and that's what happened. I felt this. This is what came out to be true. And so that's the voice that you can tune into. We're going to pull some additional cards here too from the Naked Heart Tarot and just see what else the Creator would like you to know about this surrendering to the wisdom of your body. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Cancer signs to know about this energy that's coming in on the Lion's Gate here? Okay, this one and then these two. Any others? Okay, yep, that's it. So you've got the Innocence of Swords. So this would be in the regular deck, would be Page of Swords. And so it brings two things that come with this. The Page of Swords is about like messages. So you're going to get messages, of course, which totally makes sense because this is all about listening to the communication and the wisdom of your body. But the page also represents like a young child, which is a young little cub, like a panther cub, and they so it represents the new types of thoughts. Swords are all about your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes. And so this is about changing of that and discovering two truths. I know the Queen of Swords is really about getting into your deeper truths, but this is the beginning of that expansion of understanding the deeper truths. And so that's, this message that's coming with it. This combination here is don't be so stubborn about your thoughts and your beliefs from the past. When your body speaks wisdom, when you start connecting to this higher wisdom, sometimes and usually it does dismantle some of these outside roles and thoughts and beliefs we've developed out of fear when unconditional love comes in. So this is a wonderful energy that's coming in, though, because as you question these and you surrender to the wisdom of your body and you surrender and let go of some of the wisdom of your mind, it does free you and opens up so much space for new things and new possibilities in your life. Yeah, because here you go. You got the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, this is about giving and receiving. It's a positive card because it usually means that you have some wonderful things coming in from the outside world for you. And that can be, Pentacles can be finances, but it can also be other things of abundance in your life. I also call this the Codependent Card, and I will explain. So usually when you start a relationship that's a healthy relationship where there's equal giving and receiving, it looks like this, where each is just giving and receiving back and forth, and both feel that joy of giving and also that joy of receiving. And so it's a nice balanced approach. And sometimes it's 60-40, 40-60, 70-30 sometimes, 30-70 sometimes. But the codependency kicks in here where one individual only allows this person to receive. They feel they have to give in order to feel fulfilled, needed, whole, complete. And so this shift happens into, instead of equal partners, it's parent-child. And if you've been in a codependent relationship, and I'll admit, I'm a recovering enabler, so I totally understand this point of view, where you feel like your worth is determined by how much you can give to someone. You try to become this person's life, because then if they can't live without you, they'll keep you around. That's a good story that we tell ourselves, but that's not how it turns out. What turns out is that this person that's constantly feeling that they have to give and not receive gets drained, exhausted, and then becomes a bit resentful. And the viewpoint of this fishy down here is, I can't give to them and I only can receive. And what kind of worth does that generate within that individual? So they end up swimming away, either leaving the relationship or having an affair because they want to find someone that makes them, lets them give to them. It makes them feel like they're something, right? Or they'll pour themselves into their work or into a sport or into their friends or some other activity, a hobby, whatever it may be, where they feel like they're giving something because you're not allowing them to give. And so that's kind of this message that comes in here too, about being aware of this, kind of interaction within yourself, understanding where you're putting your worth in. And if you have been in this relationship where you're on either side of this, it is something to look at here, because, especially with this Innocence of Swords here, it's about coming up with the new definitions of what your relationship has to be, should be, supposed to be, need to be. And that transforms it as well. So trust your gut with that there. Yay! And then you have the Sun. This is a very positive card, because it's all about transformation, about moving out of the darkness into the sun. So if you've had like a dark time in your life, then it's about this brightness that comes in. And the Sun also represents the ego, kind of in astrology, more or less, and so it lets you understand yourself more too. So with this surrender to the wisdom of your body, it is about seeing yourself for who you really are and seeing a higher you, a higher truth for you. And in fact, I'm gonna grab this book here because I love it, because each of these has a creature on there. This one, I think that's one of those Egyptian beetles. And what I like reading is because they have a special little message that they bring to you here. And that is a scarab. I was trying to think of the word, the scarab beetle. And he says, when your enthusiasm flows, you flourish. But it says, I ask myself, are limiting beliefs blocking my forward momentum? So, and this is all about what I focus on expands. And as my energetic spirit emanates joy and love, I feel the return of this energy in all that I do. My world is expansive, my inner light glows, and people naturally feel drawn to me. I bathe in the warmth of optimism and gratitude as the universe showers me with abundance. I am deserving of success and the celebratory moments of life, and I gracefully receive them with happiness and an open heart of appreciation, knowing I am worthy, which is so perfect because that's what this is all about, right? We're talking about our worth, about being worthy, about giving and receiving, and that it's, this equal partnership, even with the Creator and the universe and unfolding in our lives. We give and we are worthy to receive from the universe as well. So I love this card emphasizing that for you as well, because you might be in a codependent relationship with the universe, with the Creator, with whatever you feel your higher power is in your belief system, because you might think I have to give my life to God, but I cannot receive from God. I'm not worthy. I owe him everything. He owes me nothing. So I'm going to spend my whole life giving to him, and no, don't give to me. And this is a wonderful dawning of a relationship, of this inner worth too, and the wisdom of your body. You are creation. Every cell in your body is made of unconditional love. It's the actual, essence of the Creator of all things. So we're also going to pull a card here from this power deck. It's called the Cards of Wisdom, which is interesting. This is the wisdom of your body. And we're just going to see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energy that's coming in and starting through this portal on the Lionsgate portal on August 8th. But how is it rippling out into your life and moving forward? So what ripples does it have for you? What does the Creator want you to know about this energy's impact on your life? Okay. See this beautiful card here. And it's transformation. And I'll let you see that, and then I'll read it. So it says, the power of your intent leads you around the sacred wheel of endeavor. Begin today with trust and innocence in the early hours. Imagine a quiet pond and see the reflection of your true self. At noon, take a moment to close your eyes and dream. Image the transformation that this day offers you. Seek the strength and wisdom through your ability to love, to bring this transformation into action and into the words you speak. At night, give thanks for the illumination you have found. Know that the form of your intent leads you to the power of transformation. And that is just hilarious that this is card 15, 5 and 1 is 6, and here's the 6 of Pentacles. It speaks of innocence. They had the Innocence of Swords. High noon, you've got the sun, also talking about the strength and wisdom. So, this is just hilarious that it pretty much covered everything that we've talked about so far, and is a culmination of all 3 of these cards. But it is a beautiful message of transformation, getting quiet, moving into that inner reflection like we talked about, so you can see your true self, your higher self, and moving beyond your small t truths into your capital T truths that you find, in your actual soul, with that connection to the higher realms. We're also going to pull some additional cards here and see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energy and its outflow, but a beautiful transformation. One of the things about lotus flowers here too is that it takes them time to get through the mud and then to move above the mud and to bloom. And lily pads too are a beautiful representation just of being able to float and on water and flow with your life. I love that. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Cancer signs to know about this energy, please? I apologize that I've got a little tickle in my throat today. We've just got forest fires near our state, and they are bringing in the smoke, which have fun with my allergies. So I apologize for the hacking up here. Now, the 3 of Swords, again, swords are your, like we talked about here, with your mindsets, your attitudes, your beliefs, your thoughts. And for me, this is the expectation card. Expectations equal disappointment. We're taught that all these things outside of us define us, and that these are the things that are supposed to fulfill us and make us whole and complete. And unfortunately, or by design really, a lot of them, because they come from different people, contradict each other. So we end up definitely being disappointed by the external things, because they're all temporary and unstable. People, they change their minds like the weather, or they pass away. Situations never stay the same. Things break, deteriorate, burn down, or are stolen. So when we're told all these things are supposed to fulfill us, they won't fulfill us for very long, if at all. And so we feel that prick in our heart, or like in this case, it has all these swords, that it feels like we're heartbroken, and what it is we go into fight or flight mode when we're disappointed, because when we're defining ourselves by all those external things and they don't turn out the way we're supposed to, and by our little definitions and our roles, all those voices we were talking about in our head, then I fear that my value has been lowered, that I'm going to get rejected, I'm not going to find love again, or acceptance, or success. I'm going to end up on losing everything in my life and die in the wilderness alone, from starvation. That's like the extreme that our fears take us to, and that's why fight or flight kicks in, to protect ourselves, right? To protect these supposed tos that have been developed in our head here. So these are coming to you, yeah. And then you've got the Eight of Swords. So again, swords and swords. And this shows you that the only thing that's limiting you and holding you back, like this card was talking about, is ourselves. Our beliefs, our thoughts, we're limiting. So all these swords that are keeping us trapped are all our thoughts and beliefs that we have instilled and police within us. So they came from the outside through praise and punishment as we were growing up, right? That wonderful feeling when they say, good girl, good boy, or that fearful feeling of when they raise their voice or frown at you or punish you and say, bad girl, bad boy. You know, those things develop those, and so we reinforce them because we don't want those things to happen again. But we're the ones that keep these in place. Our energy is what keeps us bound. But that's great news, because you can realize your entire life, all the things you've been feeling and all the restriction you've been feeling comes from you. And I know at first you're like, oh man, but then you're like, oh man, I am the one that controls that. So I'm not out of control, I'm in control. I can change those thoughts and those beliefs by questioning them and turning to that higher wisdom and that higher truth, right? Yeah, because then you have the Five of Swords, which again, the Five of Swords is, about obstacles, our thoughts that are blocking us, these oppressive feelings, danger, danger. In fact, I'm going to read what the shark has to say. They're just jumping out to me whenever the images just leap out. And I've had this before and it hasn't jumped out before, but so there must be a special message for us here. Yeah. Trusting yourself helps you remain fearless in your choices. And you ask yourself, is it possible that I'm owning ideas that don't belong to me? Yeah. So like we said, all those things that came from the outside, those don't belong to you. They're on loan to you and you've kept them. And now you can just release those back. That's what this whole process is about. I mean, you got swords, swords, swords. And these are all the swords that are the odd numbers, 3, 5. Well, the 8 is not odd, but it's the one that's showing restriction. And, all three of these are about the restriction and the chaos that comes from our thoughts and beliefs. But I love that you have the Page of Swords here that basically allows you to move beyond that. In fact, I'm going to put that there to kind of just transform that energy, because this is what's going to help you move past it, is these new beliefs, this Innocence of Swords. Going back before, you had all that oppression come in. That's what the Page also brings, is that childlike feeling of your thoughts and beliefs. You remember back, if you can remember back when you were like 2 or 3 years old, when there were so many possibilities, though the world was endless and the adventures were endless, and because we didn't have so many roles until we started hearing the no, yeah, good, all that praise and punishment. And so this energy is about returning back to that free feeling as well. All right, we're also going to pull some cards here from this Energy Oracle cards and just see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energy that's coming through the Lionsgate portal for you. All right, Creator, what else do you have for our Cancer signs regarding this energy that's coming through for them? What else do you want them to know? That one is winking at us. In the 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron, and that's card number 40. And you can see here, this is about the third eye. So we're talking about the crown chakra here. With that coming in, this is the third eye, which has to do with your spiritual insight, your spiritual sight, seeing things from a different perspective, seeing things through the eyes of spirit. And we'll read it here, though. But it's totally fitting in what we were talking about here, because it's clarity of thought. personal vision. So this very powerful Archangel Metatron brings brilliant indigo vibrations to your brow chakra or third eye, which is the center devoted to insight and clear thought. So when this card appears upright, it indicates a much greater clarity in your thought process and an expanded perspective towards broader horizons. Some new perceptions are taking hold, and the clouds of confusion are clearing. In some ways, this could be a new beginning, for you're on your way to developing a deeper insight about what's going on in your life and why. So now's the time to focus on your personal vision. What do you want your life to look like in the years ahead? Create a clear picture of that and support it with your daily thoughts. The insight you need to create a vibrant life, is available to you now. Sorry, I was having trouble having that sentence make sense in my mind. So it says the insight you need to create a vibrant life is available to you now. And the affirmation for this card is, my sixth chakra is open to its perfect healthy state. My personal vision guides me and my thoughts are peaceful and clear. So I love that. So yeah, definitely right in line with what we were talking about here, especially all this about thoughts, clarity of thoughts here. All these thoughts that have been restricting you and making so much noise, really moving inward and surrendering to the wisdom of your body, the wisdom from your insides that are coming through with your third eye chakra. We're also going to pull some cards here, additional cards. We'll see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energy that's coming through for you. But yeah, definitely, especially being a water sign, the Cancer signs are very water-based, which is emotions, which is connection to our other side. So, you definitely are able to move within this and activate it. And so this will come naturally to you a lot with your intuition. So, Creator, what else do you want our Cancer signs to know about this energy? Okay, and anything else? Okay. Any others? Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So you got the High Priestess, which she's the queen of connecting to the other side, the unknown, connecting to the phases of the moon. She's very much about going beyond the veil, going into the unconscious, the subconscious, into the spiritual realm. You've got the third eye here as well, and this is about protection. So you definitely have this ability and this message about connecting to the higher realms there. Yeah, and then you got the Hanged Man, which also is about seeing things from a higher perspective. So another card that I would normally say this is about connecting to your higher self and to the higher realms, to be able to see that behind the Hanged Man, the story I think it's Odin. He was like the father of the gods, is how it went, and he hung upside down. He hung himself upside down from a tree, and even gave one of his eyes to be able to glean and look into the wisdom, of the ages. So I love that this is definitely a message here about seeing things from a higher perspective and that higher wisdom, really moving within yourself and not looking so much on the outside of yourself. And you've got the Six of Cups here, and usually this is kind of like, they call it like the nostalgia card, and it's about looking back over your emotions from the past and understanding them. And it kind of mentioned that in these cards here about, going within yourself and understanding why things happened, why you perceived the things in a certain way. And with this new wisdom that you get, what's amazing is that, they always say you can't go and change the past, but we can't change what events happened in the past, but we always can adjust or add to our perception of what happened. We never want to get rid of how we perceive the past. It's in my opinion and my experience, because I believe we came down here to experience all of these emotions of the opposite of where we come from. And so when we have a situation that brings us that heartbreak, like we talked about in that Three of Swords, or anger or sadness or resentment, in codependent relationships, everything we went through to feel for a reason. And we're like, oh, I want to get rid of all that. It's like learning life lessons throughout life and going, oh, I want to get rid of that and let me just start fresh. And it's like, well, those life lessons were an integral part of our whole journey and who we are today. And so we're able to go back and look from this higher perspective, from a place of unconditional love, and look at the whole situation differently and go, oh, you know what? I took that personally before, but now that I am beyond, that situation and full of this unconditional love that's flowing into me, because I'm connecting to the higher realms, the third eye and through the crown chakras. I'm feeling all that love. I don't feel like it was personal. I don't feel as attacked, and I actually see that they were acting out of fear. They were screaming to be loved, and all I heard was, oh, you think you're better than me, when they were actually going, I'm lying through my teeth saying that I'm, this great person, I'm better than everyone else in the world. And you're like, oh, that's actually someone screaming out going, please love me for me, and we see things, from this different perspective, and with that intuition, understanding why everything happened, and see things from a whole different point of view. So I love that. And then lastly, we're going to pull some cards here from the Everyday Tarot, and we're just going to see what else the Creator wants you to know about this transformation of these energies. And how they're going to ripple across your little pond here, the rippling effect. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Cancer signs to know about this energy that's rippling across there? So you got this one, and this one, and this one. Oh my goodness. Wow, okay. So evidently there is some consistent messages here going to be coming out here. Yeah, so Four of Pentacles. So this is about, you have everything you need inside of yourself. The Pentacles is the outside world. So as we were talking about with these beliefs, those things that are changing, is that I have everything I need inside of me, and actually I have enough for this moment to actually give some to others too. But I don't need to, you can see how they, there's like the city behind, and one of the messages that comes with the card is, you don't have to, they've kind of turned their back on that city and are looking over here a little bit. And it's like, do I want what they want? And it's like, nope, you don't need to have what they are wanting. All those external voices, it's about turning inward, with that card. And again, you have the Five of Swords. So we've got the Five of Swords and the Five of Swords. So definitely reiterating that it's this challenge here. And you can see that this card always reminds me of, you may have won the battle, but you lost the war. Do you want to be right, or do you want to have relationships with people? And so it's about also this struggle of trying to prove that your truth is more truer than their truths, right? And that's where our battles come in, instead of just being able to be open to having, this, allow people to believe what they want to believe, but it doesn't mean you have to take it on as your own as well. Yeah, Nine of Swords. Totally understand that with all the swords energy here. This is about what's keeping you up at night. All these beliefs and all these thoughts are just almost to the point of exhaustion. The Ten of Swords is exhaustion. This is insomnia, nightmares, and that you can't get your mind to stop thinking at night because there's all these fears that you're not going to be living up to and meeting all of those voices in your head that are telling you all those things that have to happen, and all those contradictory things that have to happen, right? Yeah, because here's the Queen of Pentacles. So, she is the one that, she reminds me of the Empress, but she's very much understands, because with it being an Empress, or being a queen, it's very much about attachment and feeling your emotions, and she understands what truly is needed to feel whole and complete and fruitful and abundant. Yeah, the rabbit there, it's about multiplication and abundance coming into your life. So it's a good message of understanding what true abundance is, and that with this transformation of all these thoughts and beliefs, that's what allows you to see what is happening in your life. She's very much the goddess of gratitude, being thankful for what is in her life, not focusing on what is not, because all these thoughts and beliefs and expectations are always focusing on what's not happening, what's not being met, what's not being unfolding when it's supposed to be, and all that fun stuff. Yeah. And this is the Tower. A wonderful message with this is that everything in your life is planned. We have, before we come down here, the higher being that we are meets with the Creator and all of our support team on the other side, all our angels and guides and loved ones and ancestors and everyone else that's going to help, work to have things unfold in our life, all the events that we want to have happen. So we plan our birth and the death of our character that we're going to play while we're here, that avatar that's going to represent us in this game. And so we have that, and then all the events we want to have happen for our experiences happen in our life as well. So all this stuff that unfolds in our life is unfolding for us, not happening to us. And the Tower is a wonderful thing because it's like, this event I need to have happen in my life in order for me to experience all these other things that I want to have happen in my life. And the Tower is when it's going to get removed out of my life. But there's this beautiful message of, there's this crown here, and there's this other person that was blown out by the lightning bolt. This one, usually it'll show like someone jumping out of the tower, and then you have the other person being blasted out. And what that means is, like, before this blasting happens with the lightning bolt here for the tower experience, we get like little notices before it saying, hey, this is no longer serving you, it's time for it to leave. And you can jump out of the tower then, instead of waiting to get blasted out of it. Or you can wait and jump out here, or you can wait and jump out here, or you can wait and jump out here. And then this is like the dropping point of, like, no, it has to be removed now in order for the other stuff to unfold. And so if we have a tower moment where we're blasted out, just go, oh, thank you. I didn't acknowledge those other messages, and I waited, and so here's where it's happening for me. So thank you for removing that obstacle, or having me face these thoughts and beliefs so I can transform things, right? Or if you jump out earlier, then you avoid it, and there's no judgment in either one, because there are sometimes we want to have this tower moment, and we want to experience everything right up until that moment, because we wanted to really feel and experience that to the extent. Yeah. And then you have this Two of Wands. Wands is your spirit energy, your drive, your ambitions. And with these transformations that are coming, this is like a change of plans. You stand in between the two. One is like the surrendering to what is, and the other one is making new plans and putting creative things into action, because this is all about planning, like, to get from A to B to C to D to E to F, and then just taking A to B. It's not about getting all the way to the end. And with all this transformation, all this movement that's happening in your thoughts and beliefs, your plans for the future change, and this is about making new plans and being flexible with letting go and surrendering that old ways, and taking on the new wisdom and the new direction that you wanna take on. Yeah. And you got the Justice here. So this is all about balancing between your, always see these as the scale of, you have your human self and your higher self, and just balancing between the two. You've got the sword here, so the thoughts and the beliefs, and so balancing those, just to making sure that as you go forward, you're not being so heavenly minded that you're not any earthly good, which means not rejecting your human experience, but also not being pulled so much out into the chaos that you don't have a fruitful, experience as well, and that you're just doing somersaults and being battered around in the storm. This is a time of balance for you, where it's coming into this beautiful flow of, moving in between experiencing the human world, experiencing the spiritual world, and having those meshed where you can experience them both together upon your human experience here. But I really love this transformation of thought here is such a huge thing, and not listening to those outer voices, but trusting the wisdom from within. So I love this. And this is just part one. Part two is going to be coming up in the beginning of September. I'm going to be doing like autumn equinox readings, and that is going to be part two. Part one here, of course, is what you're ready to surrender, and part two with equinox, because it's fall, is what's falling away, making room for the newer, bigger things. So this is like the energy that sparks that transformation, and then you'll get the second part at the beginning of September. So if you don't want to miss those videos, if you haven't already, just subscribe real quick and click that little alarm bell, and then you'll get notified of when those are coming out. It should be the beginning of September. Also, if you like these type of readings and you want more of this type, just give me a thumbs up and a like in the bottom, because that lets me know what videos people are enjoying and what content I can make more of, just to help guide and enjoy our wonderful, wonderful journey. So just know that as you go through this beautiful energy that's coming through for you, that every second of every day you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. Enjoy your amazing Lionsgate portal energy, and we will talk to you soon. You take care.